Hey Evan, how you
What's
doing?
going on, man?
How's your day been?
Good, good, good. I just hopped off. I think this is going to be super valuable, and you know what? I'll wait for Nick to kind of hop on because I think this will benefit all of us.
Great. I checked out some of your Instagram. I like the podcast video you made. That was
Thank
good.
you, thank you. That was actually so one of my clients. That was his podcast studio. I recorded a podcast with him. What's up, Nick?
Hey man.
And then at the end, I was like, "Hey, you mind if I like hang out here for a few minutes?" Because he had to go hop on
Smart.
a call. So I kind of just like filmed myself just talking to a chair. And already I had people like DMing me. They're like, "Yo, we're kind of fun the full podcast." I was like, "Just wait, I'll drop a link eventually."
There you go. You're already set.
Yeah. But I have some really valuable stuff to share with you. I just hopped off a sales call that basically I kind of screen recorded.
Hmm.
Of remember the ad that I sent you, Ian, and you said
Which
let's
one?
discuss this.
Oh
The
yeah, the testimonial
yeah
ad. Yeah.
yeah how to basically grow your coaching business.
Hmm.
So I just went through like an hour sales call and I pretend I was the customer. And he went through, I basically screen recorded this, so I'll kind of share it with you guys and he's going to send me the documents and all that. But basically they pitch like a 12K service for 90 days. And they work with you one-on-one to basically help with your sales funnels. They help with your organic reach. They help with your marketing. They help with basically setting everything up to automate your page. That ways you could have, at least in my case, one sales call every other day to get me to over 10K a month for coaching.
Yeah, it's funny. The people who make the most money in this industry is teach people how to make money.
Yeah.
the
Yep.
what I'd say with that is obviously no matter what you choose, it's going to work. Like you can build out your own sales team and get the same
Right.
results for
Yeah.
much cheaper. You can hire appointment setters to just fill your inbox, or you can,
Which he
you
said
know,
was the most important
yeah,
employee was the appointment setters.
exactly. You want your inbox always full. You can do that through ads or you can do that through appointment setters, right? And it's just what you're doing now. You like manually DM people with a personalized message and then they respond. Like Nick, I gave the challenge to double your outreach. How did that go?
Yeah, good. So I doubled the outreach and that was only last week. So far I've had a lot more like 10-minute screening calls and now the influx of like sales calls because of that is beginning to
Yeah.
start. I was just on one before this. So far it's definitely made a difference.
Mhm.
And I know what you mean too. Like every time you open up your inbox with it being full, like, yeah, obviously it's going to produce more money. But what it does for up here is also good too, because now it makes me not want to undersell myself or whatever. Because when I open it, I have so many more people that are interested. I
Mm.
don't feel the need to be scarce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, and one step past that, did you guys think about what I was talking about last time about doing like some type of group program?
Yeah.
Because I've been giving this a lot of thought, and I really, because like it's the same method I gave to Evan, right? How do you make the most amount of money? You charge a high ticket subscription service. So charge 10K a month to the car dealerships, and that's where you make a lot of money. But
Yes.
the problem with that is scalability. Like, he to reach the numbers I'm talking about, he'd need like 300 car dealerships. And then if you're making the same type of videos for all of them, that would kind of skew your results for getting
Right.
them extra leads. But
Mhm.
here's what I was thinking. We do the same thing that Alex Hermosi did, right? You charge a high ticket subscription service, personalized to each student. And I was thinking, like, how I did sleep, where everybody sleeps, right? How do we do this for wealthy individuals? So I came up with an idea. I'm going to pitch it to you and let me know what you guys think. So here's what we do. We combine our resources. We go all in on one idea, which is what you're doing now. Evan focuses on growing your social media. Nick focuses on relationships. And then there's a three-prong approach, right? What creates success in life, right? It's your health, it's your wealth, and your happiness. So once again, your health is your mental and physical health. Your wealth is your active income and passive income, preferably at a career you enjoy doing. And then three, your happiness. they did a 50-year-long happiness index, and they found that people who were the happiest across their entire life was people who maximized their love interest and their family and friends relationships. So like,
Hmm.
like they interviewed people when they were 20, 30, 40, 50, all the way to 80. And they found that those people who had the longest term happiness were the people who focused on quality relationships. So that's where the happiness one comes in. So here's what I'm thinking. We have a high ticket subscription service, $3K a month. You get 4 coaches every single week, 30-minute sessions each, one-on-one. So it's all the hand holding you need. You get a health coach for your mental health, you get a wealth coach to increase your income, and you get a relationship coach for your love interests and friends and family, improving those quality relationships like with your siblings or parents. And then the bonus is you get a physical trainer too, to make sure your physical health is in order. So you maybe think, oh, that's, you need like 10, 15K per month to do that. No, it's only 3K a month, and you get access to all 4 of those things. And here's where we come in. This is why we should do it. If we get 1,000 students, 3,000 a month, that's 3 million per month recurring revenue, right? So all the legwork we have to do to get that one student, they keep coming back more and more because there's always more things for their health, wealth, and happiness to improve, right? So that's how we differentiate ourselves. We're an all-in-one solution. Some people teach how to make money. Some people teach relationships. We do everything all in-house, one-stop service. So here I just ran some basic numbers. 1,000 students, $3,000 each. That's 3 million a month revenue. Expenses, you're going to need about 100 employees, including the salespeople, the coaches, the marketers. Average 5K a month each. That's 500K a month. Throw an extra 100K a month for marketing, office-related materials, software. So that's 600K expenses total, totaling 2.4 million net profit every single month. So I like all the research I've done, helping Evan, helping other people in this field, that seems to be the best strategy. That's how Alex Hormozi made his first 100 million. And think about it this way, right? Like we dedicate all of our time, 12 to 18 months to building this out. We reach 3 million a month. Even if we average like 30 million a year, if you do that for 1 or 2 years, you can sell the business at a 10 to 11x multiple. So we could sell the business for 300 million, each cash out 100 million, or we can keep taking that positive cash flow every month and grow it, and then diversify our income into commercial real estate, stocks, and any other like high profitability cars that appreciate rather than depreciate, because I know that's Evan's wheelhouse. That's just my thought, because like obviously we can each grow our individual businesses and probably get to 100K a month eventually. But if we pool our resources and we have one differentiating factor, we can market it different ways. We can be like, grow your social media and date supermodels, or maximize all aspects of your life, manifest success. We can do many different marketing strategies all around that same basic goal. You have many pools and funnels to build into one offer. And that's that one offer, 3K a month. 4 coaches you get access to every week, and then when we grow, you get group calls as well. What do you guys think about that?
Right. Yeah. I think it's really, really good, and something that we even do too. Like, if we get a super wealthy individual, someone else that I know who made a lot of money in the dating field, he would actually charge like a 25K offer for these really, really big guys. And what he would do for them is he would hire an appointment setter to handle them on some dating website, and then just put them out on dates and then coach them in between the dates. So all they had to do was show up. Their dating life is actually on like automated, which was pretty cool. Obviously that's, a 3K offer isn't enough for that. But I'm just saying, if we ever got like a really huge person, that could be an upsell as well, where we literally just put the dates for them, and obviously we get an appointment.
Love it. The more hand holding, more things we can do done for you for them, the better. And then the beauty about the high ticket subscription offer is, you could have someone for 8 years, because they're always coming back for more if you're constantly improving their life. If, either they can already support that high cost, or they're willing to pay for it because they know they'll 3 or 4x their money each month through like Evan's social media mentorship. If we structure the deal that way, because we only need 1,000 students, right? That's not a lot of people. There's tens of thousands of people, 30 million net worth and above. We wouldn't even need to reach that one. Anyone making over 40K a month could support this cost easily. And there's like hundreds of thousands of people in that wheelhouse just in America alone. So I think there's a huge market opportunity for this. And, like three minds are better than one kind of thing, where
Yeah.
you know, I could go about doing this myself, hire a bunch of salespeople, do it that way. But I think it would be more intriguing if everybody had skin in the game. Like everyone had a third percentage. We reinvest all the profits every month back into the business, other than like 10%, you know, for take home income. And then just keep reinvesting it till we reach that, you know, threshold of 1,000 students. And then that point we can start cashing out, or we can keep growing our investments. Because I made it my mission, before I'm done on this planet, I want to become a trillionaire and make all my colleagues millionaires and billionaires. That's like a personal mission of mine. And I think this is a good way. This isn't a billionaire idea. This is like 100 millionaire each idea, but it can generate enough revenue to create those $1 billion opportunities.
So our target market would be who again?
Our target market is high income individuals who want to maximize their health, their wealth, and their happiness.
So Nick, people like Jonathan.
Yes, literally. And for me, and obviously, I think I know that you're way more experienced in business than I am, Ian. But one thing that I have learned to be true the last couple of years is those first initial sales, they actually teach us more than we teach them, because it's like we know our target market, but the words that they actually want to hear, the marketing that they want to see, the ad they want, we don't know that. Only
exactly.
They know that. The smartest thing I ever learned is turn off your brain, listen to what the customer wants, your ideal customer, and then put that out there, be a mirror, and then it attracts more of the same guy. So it almost seems like this first month, we should like do the DMs, do the legwork, talk to those people on the phone, because they're actually doing more for us than we are for them that initial month. Collectively, we get everything that they're saying, pain points, all that stuff, and then we can come out and then we can have ads that actually work, rather than writing up ads that we think will work. But the thing is, we already are maximizing our health, wealth, or whatever, so we can't relate to them. Even if we think we can, we can't.
Exactly. That's exactly the strategy I was going to list out. Like that's word for word. What we do is you two focus on client acquisition, do the same thing you're doing now. I'll focus on the back end, just building the base layer. We pre-sale it, get the proof of concept, you know, land 1 to 3 students in the next week or two. And then we use that revenue to set up all the legal, LLC, business checking account. And then we can automate that process, because what we do is just like we do now, we have a sales call where we record it. 20% of the time we're speaking, 80% of the time we're listening. Yes. Understanding what are their pain points, what do they want to accomplish, and how can we help them? And you're going to learn that all through the call. And then you'll land a few students and you'll have all the marketing materials we need. And here's what we do. So we do the everything ourselves first, prove it out, prove that it works. Then we can start outsourcing it only from the revenue we bring in. So we put nothing out of pocket personally. Because there's, you know, other than $100 a month for hosting a site, we have no costs. So we do it ourselves first, and then we train people on what we learn, and then we can outsource it that way. I don't even
have a website in my personal business.
Yeah, you don't, honestly, you don't need one. If you have an internet connection, you can just start selling to people, or you can walk up to total strangers if that's
your wheelhouse. So I just signed up for Grant Cardone's 10X program a few days ago, which awesome value. Like I paid like $600 for like everything basically. Cardone University, and the first thing he said was, you don't need a fancy website, you just need a landing page. That's all you need, is a fucking landing page.
I would argue so you just need an Instagram account, but yeah.
Well, yeah and you just need somewhere for them to go to put in their information. That's all you need.
Exactly.
So for us, like,
when you run an ad, so like when you run the ad, you need a landing page, because then you're not talking to them, so they need to fill out a thing.
Right. Yeah.
But we don't even need that the first month, because we
need, or here's what we do. We do all organic DMs. And the only reason we stop DMs, we keep doing DMs, but there will be a threshold where we maximize how many we can do per account. That's when you then start incorporating ads only from leveraging the profit from the previous month. That's why we reinvest 90% of everything. And then the third step is you can do live events. You know, you charge $97. They come, you teach them something very valuable. And then at the end, they can decide if they want to join with you. You usually get 10 to 30%. Yeah.
We would need an Instagram page too.
Huh?
We would probably need a separate social media page.
Man, if only we knew someone who was really good at scaling social media.
I wonder who.
And if only we knew someone who already had a social media where he said he's like a dating and relationship coach.
Yeah, and if only we knew someone who knew how to maximize sleep and regain a third of their lives.
So you're saying it would be basically like sleep, so sleep coach, social media / I guess even business coach, because
Yeah,
like
wealth coach. Yeah,
I
we
could
position it as
reteach.
that.
Honestly, I could reteach a lot of the stuff that like all three of us know, plus everything I'm laying on the
Mhm.
10x program,
For sure.
and then dating, and then
The physical trainer.
okay,
That's the fourth
physical
one.
training. So that would be number 4. So we would need to pull someone in. Would we make them a partner? How would we do that?
Honestly, we could just get a physical trainer, give them same what we're going to do with all of our future employees. We give them $25 per 30-minute session. So if they have 50 to 100 students, that's a full-time income for them. Because like $50 an hour is very generous for coaches.
I know
yeah.
4 different personal trainers, one of which is a good friend of mine. And he gave me he sells personal workout plans.
Mhm.
He
Yeah,
doesn't
'cause,
have
like,
a big social media following because it's not something he focuses on, but maybe we could pitch it, because
yeah,
all he needs to do is just kind of hop on call.
yeah.
Tell them,
All he what
yeah.
and he does. We don't even need them until we land a student. And even like I could teach the physical part too, right? You'd have a structured plan. You keep it very simple. Walk 45 minutes every day. Get proper amount of sleep, and then that's the start of your journey. Then you can choose to do extra exercise. You know, we can, whether you're interested in yoga, lifting weights, whatever that is for that. That's why we have this all-in-one solution, right? Whatever our client wants, we deliver for them, because we'll have the pool of resources to get it to them at affordable rates, so they keep coming back every month to improve that next part, right? Once they're happy all the time, how do we maximize that blissfulness? Once they're making money, how do we 10x that money? Once they're in loving relationships, how do we improve those relationships to be even better, right? It's like there's always that further step that wants them to keep coming back for more, because we do all this initial legwork to find the person we can help, right? And then once we find them, right now, it's a one and done, one-time payment, they're done. But if this is a recurring model, just like Netflix, it's a recurring model that keep coming back for more because it's constantly improving in themselves. The most important investment you can ever make is investing in yourself, right? And that's why people like Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone make so much money, and people are willing to pay all this money because they believe that they will get something greater than the amount of money they're spending, right? Money is just
client, Jonathan was originally my client. Jonathan, he's like both our client, and he pays Tony Robbins $85K a year. And he's in the top mastermind, the platinum partnership. It's crazy.
Exactly. There is
like
a market
other
for
people
it.
in there.
Yeah. Like for $3K a month, that's pretty standard in that community. So like that's not a hard, price objection. If we're targeting those right people. And as long as we can deliver value to them every month, they get 4 coaches every week. So each day they focus on a different aspect of their health, wealth, or happiness. They get 30-minute sessions, and they get those group calls every weekend or so once we, grow it further. I think that's the main part, right? They get the one-on-one done for you model, and they get the community. And I think that's really all they need. We can develop courses and things like that, but the framework of this alone is more than enough to get them results.
Right. We need to develop a Facebook group for all the members to join.
Right.
Yeah. Not even that. We could just have a Zoom call once a week where everybody can hop on. It could be as simple as that.
Like a Q&A kind of thing. Yeah.
Whatever. Because right now we want the simplest as possible. Like I've learned this from scaling businesses in the past. You focus on the pre-sale first. So you focus on reaching out to 100 people a day, client acquisition, doing as many sales calls as you can, try to land 1 to 3 clients within the first week or so, prove out your model, and then you can start scaling from there. Because, if we're trying to reach 1,000 students in the next 12 or 18 months, we need to average about 3 students a day. So keep it simple like that. So let's say each salesperson can land 2 or 3 clients a week. You need 10 salespeople. Simple as that.
Right.
But of course, we prove out the model first, right? You two focus on client acquisition. I'll build the logistics and back end for the first week or so. We prove out the model, just get 1 or 2 students. Okay, then that shows there's a big need for it, and we can get them easily. Of course, record all the calls, so when I have to train the salespeople, I have all that information. And then we scale it from there. we just keep reinvesting everything until we reach that 1 to 3 million revenue mark, and then we can start pulling it out and doing other investments, or keep everything in house and just keep growing it and then sell it for 300 million in 2 to 3 years, I'd say.
So what would you say our ideal marketing message would be?
Well, we don't
Or
know. We
ad
gotta
would
ask
be?
the client.
Yeah, so we don't know that yet, which is the beauty of it.
Right.
That's what we're figuring out in this first week or two,
Yeah.
where you guys, like Evan, I helped you out with this with the car dealerships. You have a basic understanding of what they want, but not fully. So like the part of this journey is figuring out what messaging will convey this, will work well, right?
So really, really well too. Like,
Yeah.
so you're a sleep coach. So imagine we dumped a bunch of money into saying, you need a sleep coach. Someone's gonna say that and say, nah, I sleep 8 hours a week. I don't need a sleep coach.
Yeah,
I sleep
exactly.
fine. Because he doesn't know that he's not getting good sleep. So we get on a sales call with that person, right? And he says, I'm stressed out all the time and I just have anxiety. And then we say, yeah, don't worry. We can help you with being stressed and we can help you with anxiety. It's just $3K a month. He pays $3K a month. Ian's like, okay, cool. So to solve your stress and anxiety, I'm going to help you sleep better.
Exactly.
But he doesn't say that up front. We sell them the why, but we don't sell them the how. And then we're going to, after we do this research, right? If we're all DMing 100 people a day, now you and I, we can compare our notes. And then we're going to say, okay, the clients that we like the best, the richest people have these commonality pain points. Now we reinvest 90% of the profits into ads, and then it's just going to attract those people.
Yes,
but we can't
exactly.
put money in ads because it's just throwing the money away until we actually know their why. Because the three of us, we're already in the golden position. They're not. So our brains don't work the same way.
You got it.
Which is why we're not smarter than them, even if we think we are, because we read a bunch of marketing books.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Right on point.
So our initial week. So for example, I have a sales call booked on Monday with someone who owns a detail shop, and I'm going to try to sell him on growing his social media. Yes. Are you saying I'm also going to try to sell him on like improving his life, and this is how we'll kind of prove this model?
So you're not selling anything. You're asking questions and understanding their pain point. And then you position yourself, here's their current situation, here's their desired situation. You're positioning yourself as you're that gap in between that can get them there faster, easier, better. So that your only job is to ask questions and listen, right?
Okay, so we're basically just testing the market, basically, or we're basically we're basically doing research right now, just by asking questions.
We're doing market research, and through the market research, we'll land 1 to 3 students each. You guys should each land 1 or 3 students in the next week or two. If you DM 100 people per day, that should be easy. So what that will do is that will give us 6 or 9K per month recurring to start building out this business. Right? Because I'm going to need to train salespeople, that costs money. We're going to need appointment setters, that costs money. And then once we start doing marketing, that costs money. So we only want to spend money. Yeah, exactly. And we only want to spend money from the profit of the previous month. And that's how we scale it effectively. That's how we have nothing at a cost. So we can keep having our individual businesses and things like that if we want. But if we go full throttle into this, we could scale much faster together. And then we can keep using that money to go further and further along, so we can reach that 100 millionaire status and that billionaire status once we reinvest those profits.
And let's face it too, like obviously, like we all have bills and we all have those things, right? So that initial, let's say, month, to be generous, of course, is going to be, I think, hard for all of us to do 100% and turn the back on what's been paying the bills. What I think is probably fair, though, is once this hits 10K recurring, I think we should all have a lot of confidence in pushing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of this, right? There's the old saying, a man divided has no direction. But like, obviously, right now you're paying the bills. I have my space stuff I'm working on and funding that through engineering projects. But if we have a singular focus that we all align with, the one single vision we all align with, we can have our bills paid for that first month, and then we skyrocket this over the next 1 to 3 months, and then we're more than covered just from that 10% profit share. Because like, look at it this way: let's be conservative. Let's say we get 100 students in the next 3 months, right? That's 300K per month revenue, and then 70 to 80% would be profit. So let's say 250K and we pull out 10% each, that's, 10K a month each, easy, of just profit, right? And that's just in the first 1 to 3 months. So that would cover, all your previous calls and, previous business income. And the only you can keep those going, like, especially like Evan has monthly recurring clients through the car dealerships. You keep those going, and then you can outsource certain aspects of that business. So that can be more of a passive income strategy for you. And like I said, like, you can go about this and keep growing the car dealership model. That does have a cap. It does have a limit, but the reason I pitched it to you in the beginning, it was a quick way. You were worried about leaving the 9 to 5. Here's how you make a ton of money right now, and you can be comfortable. So that's the same model we're doing with this. We can just scale this much further.
Yeah. Because the coaching, the coaching was my initial way out of the dealerships, because it started off as a side gig. And then it started making me enough money where I could say, okay, I could comfortably quit my job right now, and then kind of move
the next
past
level to that was basically doing your old job, but for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And that got to a point where that was actually way outperforming.
Recurring,
yeah,
because we set a higher target model. You remember I said set 11K. So I price anchored you at 11K, so that made you more comfortable saying 7,500 and 9,800.
Right,
you do the same thing when you're pitching these guys. You list out all the services we can do, and you're like, yeah, you may think it's 10 or 15K a month to get all this, but actually it's only 3K a month, and you get access to all of this. See, it's called price anchoring, right? It's the same thing when you go to, a nice car dealership, or you go to, a fancy suit place. They put you on the best quality, the top of the line thing, and you're like, $20,000, and then they show you a $2,500 suit, and you're like, okay, I could get on board with this. But if they showed the $2,500 suit first, you'd be like, $2,500.
Yeah.
So actually, it's called price anchoring.
I just went to bring water to like a water lab for a test, and it said, $200 was the max test. They test for all these things that are unnecessary. Then there was a $80 test, and then a $60 test. You take the 80 because you're price anchored at 200.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So other than that, that's the only piece of advice I'd give for this. So all we're doing is we keep our businesses that we're doing now. We just add this onto our plate for the first 1 to 3 weeks to prove out this model. If the model works, great. If it doesn't, we can discuss that and figure that out. But I think we could easily get, between the two of you, reaching out to 100 people per day while I build the back end, we get 1 to 3 students in the next week or so. So even just one student, that's a proof of concept that we can start scaling on. And if we get 3 students, we're really secure in that model. And because that proves it's not a fluke or just a random friend who wanted to help out. That proves that that's a sustainable model. So how do you guys feel about this?
I actually like the idea of at least trying this out. I mean, I see no reason that not trying it would do anything detrimental. I mean, it's what we're already doing, but we just be combining resources, and instead of selling like our individual services to people, we're combining our resources, and we're saying, all right, instead of say 1K a month for me, for 3K a month, you could get all of this, and you have experts in every field. Exactly. I think it's pretty genius, in my opinion.
Appreciate it.
Is there an initial?
It's more value.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Is there any type of initial investment that we would need to make, or are we just kind of doing what we're doing?
I mean, there's a couple $100 a month for hosting the website. I'll cover that. I don't care. But other than that, everything else will just be reinvested from the revenue we make. So other than our time, there should be no out-of-pocket costs with this model, which is a great model, because if you can be profitable from day one, that's the best type of business.
Yeah,
trust me, like being in hardware prototyping business where you have to sink hundreds of thousands of dollars before you even make 1 penny, this software business is the way to go. Software and service is like the easiest way, because it's a proven model. Exactly. All it requires is, let's say you guys each set a goal, 100 DMs per day. We check in every day, seeing what kind of messaging is working, what's not. And then we scale from that. I'd say within the first 7 days, one of you or both of you will land a client at 3K a month. And then we'll build out the back end through that. Just make sure when you do Zoom calls, record it, because I will need that to train the sales team. And then screenshot the DMs.
Also need that for our ads.
For the ads too. Yeah. And then screenshot the DMs of the ones that work and send them my way too. I'll create a whole training course for the salespeople.
So task list of what we need to do in the next, I guess, 3 weeks. Go for it.
Okay, simple. This is all I want you two to do. I want you to have one job. Reach out to 100 people per day, get as many sales calls as you can, record everything, and close a few clients. I'd say close 30% of all the sales calls you get. That's probably a good number. And then everybody check in every day, accountability. Say, hey, I reached out to this many people. I got this many calls scheduled. I landed this many clients. And then that will hold us all accountable for our goals. And if you see messaging that's really working, share that with everybody. And that's how we grow this faster.
And are we, when we're reaching out to the 100 people per day, what's the exact, let's agree, what's the exact message that we want to sell them on? And what's the exact thing we're going to be selling them on the sales call? Because I think if we all have different messages, I don't think this is going to work.
So we have a singular goal, right? We're helping them with their health, their wealth, and their happiness, right? And rewatch this call if you need. I'll upload it to YouTube after this. But their health, their wealth, and happiness, mental and physical health, active income, passive income, and relationships, both love interest and friend and family. That's the three success. We are helping them manifest success in all aspects of their lives. That's the messaging. How we position that and how we DM is purely based on what's already worked for you in the past with your market, right? Yeah, I'm sure there's certain messaging you've used. If you go through every client you landed, go back through all that messaging and see what the commonalities are. Both of you do this. And then that's your starting basis. You just do it a lot more, and then we can scale this out because we can charge more and we can charge a subscription model. So the time of finding these people isn't wasted because they keep coming back for months to years to come.
Yeah.
Nick, I think since you and I already have a really strong sales script, I think maybe you and I should hop on a call ASAP and come up, maybe even just modify the script that we already have.
Record that Zoom call and then send it to me, and we'll keep logs of all of this as our journey progresses. And then let's just keep the group chat texting one per day of just everything you reached out. Aim for 100 DMs per day, personalized based on the messaging you guys agree on. Once you guys land some clients, then we'll have another call about how we want to proceed to the next point. And I'll build the back end, the landing page, the scheduling software so they can book all the calls with us. Okay.
And we should be targeting wealthy people because we're going to price anchor that's at 3K.
High income. You want to target high income people, probably minimum they're making 30K a month income. I'd say you could push it to 10K a month, but that's a harder sale because that's a third of their income. But just aim for that target demographic, and then understand what their pain points are over the calls, and then we'll position all of our marketing materials based on that.
And I'd be more than happy to give all you guys a login for this Grant Cardone program too, because I think a lot of the stuff that we're going to have to come up with, I mean, I'm looking at templates right here for all of it.
Perfect. Yeah.
My only question is, so 10-minute call, then it's going to go to a consultation call, even though I don't call it that. Then it actually goes to a sales call. Before I go on the first sales call, we should probably all have a Stripe account where all three of us are admins on it.
For the first one, you can just put it through your account, and then we'll create a business checking account. That's why I said we do the pre-sale model, right? Okay. You both sell 1 to 3 each this week,
so and then we use run through his Stripe, I run it through mine.
Yeah, and then we'll create a business checking account and have everything go through that we're all linked to. We all have a third share. That's probably the easiest model.
So PayPal each other our cut or whatever.
Exactly. Because if we already have Stripe and PayPal set up individually, let's get the first few students in, and then we can do a group model to where it's easier
let it grow big enough without having it structured properly for taxes. So 1 or 2, couple K is not going to make a huge difference. I see what you mean.
You got it. And then the next call after we land the first few clients will be setting up LLC. I'm in Tennessee. That has good rates. We can also do Delaware and do a PO box. I'll run through all those.
That's where our LLCs are located.
And Delaware is great for if we ever want to get investors or sell the company. So we might choose Delaware. We'll just have to run through all the numbers, make sure it makes sense. Tennessee is only good because there's no income tax. So if we want to pull it out personally, that's nice.
There's no income tax here either. So
Okay, perfect. So
actually, the only person on this call that's not in a good state is Evan, because we're set in Tennessee and Delaware.
Yeah,
Yeah.
were you based again, Nick?
Delaware.
Delaware. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're definitely doing Delaware then. If you're already living in Delaware, that's the perfect one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, any questions at this point? You guys should have a separate call about your marketing efforts. But other than that, do you have any questions for me at this point?
No, I think Evan and I will hop on if you can, like tomorrow morning, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, let's do it tomorrow morning.
Get that going.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, set a goal, write this down, 100 DMs per day, land 1 to 3 students in the next week or so.
Cool. And is there examples we'll be showing them, or should I just say I have this guy Ian, I have this guy Max, and I have myself.
You don't need any of that. You understand what their pain points is, and then you say we can solve that.
Yep.
They don't care how. They don't care
Okay.
if it's a course or one-on-one. They just want to know they can solve their pain points.
Right.
And you can get into that if you want, but it's really unnecessary. Like,
All
and what Nick was saying, where you have the 10-minute call, then the strategy session or whatever. Honestly, all I ever did was strategy session. I asked them a few questions. If they met the parameters and they were the right demographics, I just went straight into the strategy session and closed them on that first call. That'll save you a lot of
I
time.
remember that you and I did that. Yeah.
That'll save you a lot of
Awesome.
time.
Right away.
Yeah. You don't need all these extra fluff steps. Like you can get them to decide on the first 45-minute call. If it's a right fit, they'll do it. It's as simple.
And
as that.
this is how you were doing your 10K a month, people?
Yeah. Basically what we'll scale to this model, but what I was doing is just add straight to them booking a call strategy session. So they had to fill out a form to prove that they were willing to like do a little bit of work, and then straight to a call. And we have filled in boxes that way once we scale up ads, but we only want to do it based on the revenue we've already generated from organic marketing. That's the priority. That's the lesson I learned the hard way. That's what we do first.
Cool.
I'm in total agreement with that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
Awesome.
great. Yeah, we'll set a goal next 12 to 18 months. We'll scale this to 3 million per month revenue. And then right now, the first week or so, just land 1 or 2 students each. And then that'll prove the model.
All right, cool.
Okay, great. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. You have my cell. If you need anything, just text me. And yeah, I'll start building out the back end.
Sweet. Nick, you want to give me a call?
Yeah, let's do it. Perfect.
All right, cool.
Thank you,
See you
man.
guys.
Thanks for your time. We'll see you soon.